Jim Obaze told us in the media that Emefiele returned 4 trillion naira and no such money was returned. Chris Nwokobia says. Jim Obaze's panel on this CBN investigation and probing is going to be a kangaroo investigation, I tell you the truth, because already the report is getting a kind of twisted when they said that Buhari did not approve the redesign of the Naira notes, that it was Tunde Sabiu, the person that is just that Richard Castella that was just a PA to Buhari, was the one that gave Emefiele instruction to, or that gave Emefiele the order or approval to redesign the Naira. And Emefiele, at his level of exposure and position, accepted such order from somebody who has no stake in Nigerian government. So why am I bringing that? Jim Obaze's report is trying to look for a way to free Buhari from everything about that Naira redesign. And that is wrong, because Buhari was at the top of everything from beginning to the end of it. We know that Emefiele couldn't have acted alone. It was between him and Buhari and the kitchen cabinet. So now the same advisor is saying that Emefiele returned 4 trillion naira. Meanwhile, no such money was returned into federal government coffers, according to Nwokobia Chris. So let's get into the details to understand where it's coming from. Professor Chris Nwokobia, a convener of Country First Movement, has criticized the approach to fighting corruption, expressing dissatisfaction with the media-centric portrayal of cases. Okay, so in an interview with Arise TV, Nwokobia cited the corruption cases of Godwin Emefiele, where a special investigator, Jim Obaze, allegedly claimed that the former CBN governor returned 4 trillion naira, and it turned out to be false. He voiced concerns about the prevalence of media trials, stating a preference for a more discreet, professional, and effective battle against corruption. In Nwokobia's words, Jim Obaze told us in the media that Emefiele returned 4 trillion naira and no such money was returned. We are not excited about the media trial of so many people. We are interested in seeing a discreet, professional, and effective battle against corruption. Remember that Magu told us that at some point that 2.3 trillion naira had been recovered, and then when Bawa came, he told us that the monies that have been paid back to the federation account as recovered money was not more than 5 or 50 billion naira. So you ask yourself, what is the difference between 2.2 trillion and 50 billion? Of course, that is big. That is about 1.8 trillion. What am I saying? 2.35 billion. That's what it means. 2.25 billion. So it is obvious that Jim Obaze's investigation is not going to go anywhere. And it's not Jim Obaze alone. A case of EFCC recovering 2.3 million, and Bawa, the new EFCC chairman at that time, said they didn't see more than 50 billion naira. So where is the balance of 2.25 billion, trillion rather? So it is all our fight for corruption is kangaroo. That is it, selected fight, and sometimes sentimental, and sometimes a witch hunt for the opposition. That is the way it has always been. It had never been holistic. It had never been honest, and they keep people that are indicted or suspected keep buying their way out of the EFCC net. So it makes fight for corruption or fight against corruption in Nigeria a mockery. It's making mockery of fight against corruption in this country. That is the truth. So now Chris Nwokobia has said his own that if we must be, if we want to make progress in this country, we must be desperate. We must be deliberate in fighting corruption. We must be discreet. We must be professional in fighting corruption and bringing out the reports the way they are and knowing where we are and where we need to go. Okay, and people are reacting to Chris Mokobia's comment in this regard. So it's a government that can hire fake reverend fathers and pastors are capable of doing anything. Have you not heard about the hired Abuja kidnapped kingpins? APC is evil party to Nigerians. Okay. As I say, matured and educated mind don't take social media news seriously. If Jim Obaze want to decimate information, let him come out and address the public, not on social media. Yeah. They want to loot the money. That's why. Abi. So they said 4 trillion naira was returned by Emefiele. It turns out to be that no money was returned. So it means that they want to loot it, because that's exactly what some people have been blaming EFCC for and ICPC. They say they recover money and the money is looted again. The same thing that has happened to Abacha loans that were recovered back to Nigeria, and now we don't know where those money are. We don't know what they did with it. But they will tell us those monies were returned and they are returned back to CBN or federal government coffers. But after then, what did they do with the money? We don't know. Where is the money? We don't know. Nigeria. And somebody said the Emefiele never returned any money. The proposed amount is what Jim asked the EFCC to demand from him. People should be wary of sensational news from attention seekers. Okay, so Emefiele never returned money, and the proposed amount they wanted to return is the amount that EFCC to collect from them, from Emefiele. Okay, that's another dimension of the story. Someone said, really? Jim Obaze should cover his face for shame, having embarrassed the accounting profession with baseless, uninformed, or unfounded, clueless, bogus audit and investigation report. The first test of this quack report was not credible, but misleading and failed woefully with federal government. The CBN, CAC, the banker to the bogus company exonerated the CBN governor. The procurements were duly supplied. Obaze never said that. Problem with many Nigerians is that they love sensational news and so easily get excited and frenzied by beer parlor gossips. Chris Mokobia, despite his status as a professor, is shamefully just another cheap rumor monger. Okay, now was for Nigerian shark. Now, wow. I even heard that Obaze is not too clean. That is another thing. Yes, now. So all these people that are using to do some of these critical jobs also at one point or the other in the past have soiled their hands. So I would not be surprised if this Obaze is not clean. But again, that is exactly what Chris Mokobi is saying. If we must fight corruption, we must be deliberate about it. We must be discreet and professional about it. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment over this statement that the Emefiele returned 4 trillion, but it turns out to be that the money was never returned at all, according to Mokobia observation from Obaze's report. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment.